commentated, or yeah, on our commentated matches here. I don't know, Saf, if you had a moment to pull up the stats on any of these guys.
Just a little bit, and one thing I want to point out is that these are very detailed logos. I mean, you have a koala and an avocado kind of about to dap each other up. That's pretty interesting. Maybe I've been off the internet for too long to not really know what the heck is going on here. And speaking of which, of what the heck is going on, there's a lot of melee going on the side of Koalition.
Yeah, are these memes we're supposed to know? Okay, whatever. We're gonna play some Splatoon now. Starting off zones on Umami. Some quick picks coming out, but you know, it's Umami. It's gonna be this dual zone masterpiece, spending time to find a big advantage, and then you know that snowball collapse that we'll see, and that's Koalition taking an early collapse.
Early collapse indeed, because there's a lot of purple going down over here and already making headway into the zoning area of Broccoli on Pizza. They're kind of trying to spread out their resources here, but not really finding an opening quite yet. Kind of poking the bear, if you will. You can see, I believe that's the brush player, Rat, over on the front. Kind of trying to put some ink down, maybe seeing if we can entice some folks of the Koalition to come a little closer. But if you don't want to give up too much space, because now you got missiles taking the other half of your zone.
I've been enjoying watching the Dynamo gameplay. It's not the first time we've seen it on stream today. And you know, it's one of those ones, it's slower. It doesn't quite fit in with the modern meta, like this aggression and this quick-paced gameplay. So seeing someone like Dynamo be able to use that weapon, play slow, back up, hold large amounts of zone. I mean, obviously now on the back foot, but a good 50-point lead early there, in no small part because of the weapon.
Right, and Broccoli on Pizza now going to reverse the narrative here. That's two members going down on the side of Koalition. The Koalition is now trapped inside of their spawning area. Poland is going to make a really crucial pick here against Gang. That make it 2, looking to probably make it 3, getting a little bit of damage there, but with some help from our friends, that's a third member on Broccoli on Pizza going down. The missiles are going to help with that tracking effort here, and zone goes back to the Koalition. Very, it's like you were saying, the Dynamo really slows down the gameplay a little bit, because that Dynamo player does not want to overextend themselves. You don't want to give away your secrets like a magician would in the magic trick scenario here. But because especially if you have someone like Broccoli on Pizza, Gang is going to break forth here, not only taking so much space, but also going to throw that hammer and take one member down with them as well. But that takes out the Dynamo player. So the Koalition really needs to take it slow here. They don't want to push up too far, because now you have Broccoli on Pizza infiltrating into your kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, one of the more important things about Broccoli on Pizza's comp on the flip side is that Octo Brush, right? So being able to move up aggressively, take space, and really put Koalition, force them to slow down is important. We saw there, though, a Zipcaster didn't pay off on the aggression, and it's the Koalition trying to break back in, but not going to quite find it. Trades going down there in the left, hit Koala down, and a well-maintained zone here, and there's Radivor with that brush, cleaning it up at the end here. So just a couple more spritz of ink, and that'll be our game 1. A solid lockout from Broccoli on Pizza. Took them a second to find their footing, but I think that speed plays a big role.
And I appreciate, actually, that the Octopus player, that Rat, the zone was lost, right? Like, we had 2 seconds left. There was no penalty in sight trying to block us here. But Rat was just kind of like, okay, I'm going to get a pick. I'm going to get 2. And then I will now paint the zone. We'll keep it under wraps here. I feel like sometimes when you get into that single-digit era, you kind of start to panic a little bit, because you're like, oh no, like, okay, we have to keep maintaining zone. We have to keep maintaining our points. We have to maintain our lead. We don't want to give ourselves a penalty, because then that is a whole other hill that we have to traverse before we can actually make it to the finish line. So I appreciate the calm, cool collectedness of Broccoli on Pizza, being like, okay, we just have to take out the threat, and then, yes, we can repaint the zone. That's going to lock in our victory there. In the counter pick, though, so no more zones for Broccoli on Pizza, no more Umami Ruins. The Koalition now is sitting in the counter pick seat. Okay, Brush, I have a question that's been burning in my mind.
Yeah,
are you familiar with the Muppets?
I am. I certainly am.
Okay, that makes this even better. Okay, so there's this real story time. There is this whole discussion that I get to have with friends and with colleagues and coworkers, and we always talk about, like, okay, is a person a Muppet, or are they just a human person that lives on Sesame Street? And
Specifically on Sesame Street?
Yes, like a human person that lives on Sesame Street, and I'm wondering to you if like we were like tried to deliberate. We were like, okay, so who's a Muppet, and then who's this? And I am convinced that Popgun is a Muppet. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I
fascinating.
I think he's a Muppet. But
Oh,
like,
so
I think you are a human person that lives on Sesame Street, but Popgun, 100% Muppet.
so typically, right, the question is, am I a man or am I a Muppet, right?
Right.
Like that's the more and the difference between a man and a person living on Sesame Street is significant, obviously, a very different character there. But I was going to go the other way. I was going to say Popgun's certainly a caring, loving, adult human person on Sesame Street, and me, 100% a Muppet. I mean, just like the bane of all evil.
And you know, I feel like if you feel that in your soul that you are the Muppet, then I don't think I can like take that away from you. I can't be like, no, you're not a Muppet. You're not a Muppet, because like, who am I to do that? That's upsetting to all levels. And what else? Especially if I'm Broccoli on Pizza, the opening push is gonna go to the Koalition. I would be pretty upset about that too.
What a segue, Saf. Really excellent stuff here on the mic on Low in January 2026. I was looking for a segue. I was going to like say something about Animal and the rat gameplay of the Octobrush, but I think that works just as well. So a zone flip back and forth now. It's Broccoli on Pizza in control, but look, we're looking at the first minute of Maki Maki here. It's going to take a second for the map to change and for everyone to find their footing. So don't be surprised if this lead flips 3 more times.
Yeah, and I appreciate the comp change coming out from the Koalition as well. The X-Splasher is a great use of painting control here on Mahi Mahi zones. You have a lot of high ground that you can utilize. There's a lot of open space down below too, so X-Splasher, really wonderful pick. Also going to open the gateway too for those red dapples to really cause a lot of damage. You have to be in close quarters there, but also you still are maintaining your cooler weapon, which coolerless comp on the side of Broccoli on Pizza, but they do have that reflux in tow as well. So I guess painting power at an all-time high, but the very unconventional weapons that you wouldn't normally see. So that's always a really fun mix to have.
As penalty points start to tick, it's going to be the fight moving to zone as Koalition dives in. Now getting a trade there, 3-on-3. Gang with that reflex, looking to find it. Goes down to Koala. Now around the right side, it's the Dapple dualies for the Koalition. I just got the joke. And 2 more picks as the zone flips.
I love an Endangered Species Act type beat where we are defending the koalas, so that's actually tickles my heart a little bit. Wanting to defend a species that we appreciate so much, being the koala. So the Koalition now having a firm hold in the center of the map here. The Tri-Strikes are going to come out and cover a little bit of the zone, but not entirely with what Broccoli on Pizza was looking for. And Rat not really getting much value out of that Zipcaster. Definitely very scary, considering there is a lot of attachment points and verticality here that the Zipcaster could find a lot of value in. But still, the Koalition is going to be holding firm.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching Rat trying to find that aggression, right, for Broccoli on Pizza, and not quite finding the utility they're looking for on these plays. Maybe an eye off of zone is just all that they need, but Broccoli on Pizza firmly on the back foot here is going to get another chance to break into zone, charge some specials, but if you're Rat on that Octobrush, you've got to be finding those picks, upping that Zipcaster, getting behind them, going down, but a beautiful pick from Koala with the dualies, those dapples, and I'm not sure if Broccoli's going to have a way in.
Yeah, really good funding coming into the Koalition to keep the koalas safe. That is now down to the single digits for the Koalition, looking to see if they can tie the set here. And they absolutely will, because the Tri-Strikes were just too little too late. So that is a 1-1 score looking at this loser semis.
Saf, are you a man or a Muppet, or are you a person on Sesame Street?
Oh, I'm a Muppet. Yep.
Okay, that's done. That's just in the bag, ready to go.
I can't even, yeah, there's so many things I could try to even, like, argue to you to be like, yeah, I live on Sesame Street. No, I am a Muppet that lives on Sesame Street.
Are you, oh, but you're a Sesame Street Muppet. You're not a Muppet Muppet.
No, I don't think I'm a Muppet Muppet. Maybe, I don't know. I really resonate with Beaker.
Okay, yeah. Love it.
Yeah, I can't really give too much insight as to why that is, but I do feel that Beaker, it really resonates with me. he really resonates with me, you know?
Can you not share why you're like Beaker because it's like deeply ingrained and you don't have the words for it? Is there like some secret test lab lore about Saf that's not coming out on the mic today? Is there something going on?
I think it's because I really appreciate Dr. Honeydew. And yeah, for those of you that are not up to date on the Muppet lore, let me spit some information here for you. Beaker is the wonderful kind of timid assistant to Dr. Bunsen Honeydew on the Muppets. And so I feel that I am not somebody that wants to be out in front, but I like to help. So I feel a kinship with Beaker, being like, I want to help. I don't want to be the big shot, but I want to be part of the action on the side.
And that's how you ended up as a TO, because you wanted to be on the side.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. You want to help so much you can become too important at work.
There you go. Hey, Sam, I know we just got the counter pick in, but Sam's our lovely producer today. Everyone say hi to Sam. Before we talk about Clan with Museum, can I get the logos again? I want to really do a deep dive on the Koalition, because we mentioned the avocado, but I don't quite understand what I'm looking at, Sam.
A very muscular avocado, which, you know, avocados actually have healthy fats in them. So if you're looking to
koalas eat avocados?
Do avocados hold on. Avocados in Australia, do those grow in Australia?
I feel like that they do?
Yes,
No.
Australia grows high quality avocados
What?
year round.
But
So
avocados from Mexico.
That's what I thought as well. But
Yeah.
it sounds like Australia is also is the contender for the #1 avocado producer against Mexico. And I didn't realize that koalas really like avocados. Let's look that one up. Koalas eat avocado. Yeah. But they don't eat avocados.
So this is like a kinship, a friendship, but not a adversarial relationship. Hence the arm grab, a la that one meme of like we did it or whatever that means.
Yeah, we did it.
What's the meme I'm thinking of? The one where it's the two guys and the joined arms and they're both really muscular. I'm not thinking of the Kamala Harris meme.
No. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know exactly what it's for.
Okay. Anyway, we got one more game. It's 1-1. Loser here, the winner here, going on to another losers bracket game. There, they will decide who gets to go back up to winners bracket for a grand final. So a lot on the line for these teams. And let me tell you, the name of the game here, we've seen so many teams over the years in this position. The name of the game is keeping calm, keeping your mental in a good state, because it's not one game and then that's it. You got a lot of games ahead of you. So not winning this one, but making sure you're still in the place to keep it going. That's what these teams are going to have to find.
Yeah, and you also really got to try to lock down a really huge advantage before you want to make that big push. It could be 100-0 before you know it, but also sometimes you just kind of have to pick away at it depending on the defense that you're going against here. But we've already entered the first minute and seeing really decent picks here coming out from Broccoli on Pizza, but still not a lot of movement taking place. But finally, the brush is going to break through on the left-hand side here around the spinner. They're looking for the opening to try to get that power clam in. But Poland is kind of trying to come around from the backside, but not going to be able to have far enough reach. The Explosher, too, I want to make note, has come back out to play once again, and they are going to shut the push down at the 65 mark. But Broccoli on Pizza really had to kind of weasel their way through there to try to get that power clam to make contact.
And back to mid goes Koalition, a power clam at the ready and plenty clams at their disposal. It's about finding picks and utility now, but with one going down, that means that the utility off of Koala's pick, they're going to be only a trade. Blaze looking to make something happen from Broccoli. Called out, though, now. No clear way forward, and what a great job holding on there as Blaze stalling out the Koalition. So another couple moments for Broccoli on Pizza to get specials online, but not if you're going down left and right.
Yeah, and there's way too much purple on the screen here to really try to do anything with it here. Blaze is going to try to follow up on their recent push back onto the Coalition, but it's not going to find too much value here. The Tri-Strikes maybe going to open up something here for Broccoli on Pizza. Finally going to make it back out into the midsection here, but still, okay, I was going to say, as I speak, now we have a Power Clam versus Power Clam situation. Economy at an all-time high here for Broccoli on Pizza. 21 clams in tow, but nobody making headway here getting into the basket area as the Coalition has spread their resources out very well, but unfortunately losing 2 in the process.
Now just another dogfight in mid. I mean, such a sucker punch to be in such a great position to move forward and not quite find it, special when you need it or pick when you do until you get stalled out like that. So the Coalition now maybe looking to get back in mid finally after giving some space up to Broccoli on Pizza, but they have to make better use here of their specials when they get them and prioritize life. A pick there on the far right side of Rat with that Octo Rush, and now it's Broccoli on Pizza once again in mid, so not relenting here against the Coalition.
Yeah, and look at Megu down below, able to take one, narrowly avoid the hammer, trying to play around with it, but that's Gang Gang taking them down and actually opening the way for Koala to come on through because everybody is kind of looking down below the basket area. They're not quite looking up just yet, except for Blaze, who is trying to gun it out of the spawning area to see if they can prevent any further push from happening. It is only going to be a 1 Power Clam pop as we enter the last minute and a half in the game here. So the Coalition Brush has to do something a little different here if they want to try to maintain their space but also get lead. And perhaps just bum rushing the spawning area of Broccoli on Pizza is going to be the method for success.
70 seconds left in this game, so every point matters double now, you can think, with 3 down for Coalition. So Pendulum swimming quickly the other way. It's Broccoli on Pizza. They're going to hold forward into mid, put paint down, find their own special. The Killer Whale is ready, so they need to find a way in. They can take lead back with just 2 of those power claims they have, 3 at their disposal if you include the pity. So playing slow, they don't want to make the wrong move, so every pick matters. A trade there on the right side. I'm not sure if I see a way in.
Yeah, Gang Gang, and I believe that is, oh gosh, the screen's moving so fast. That's Boss having the Power Clam in their hands as well. There's still a huge wall of defense, though, against Broccoli on Pizza by the Coalition. The Coalition only having a 10-point lead here with a little bit of penalty. Actually, the penalty's the same, which is super interesting. So it's really just a 10-point difference here for each team to try to see if they can try to turn it around. Broccoli on Pizza really needs to do their best to infiltrate and change the lead here, but it seems to me the Coalition just needs to hold their cards close to their chest. They don't need to go out as far as Poland did there, and you can see that Megu is going to do just that, and especially with support from Koala and Dynaman here. The Tri-Strikes maybe going to open up something as we enter the overtime scene, but it's not going to really do too much because the triple splashdown is there as a great defensive tool, the wipeout occurring. That is the win for the Coalition. Unless Broccoli on Pizza can speed run their way to the other side, I'm not sure if that's going to be possible for them here, though. So that is going to be the Coalition moving on to losers finals.
Yeah, I mean, throwing everything they had at the basket twice in a row, and Coalition putting up a brick wall. Nowhere to move, nowhere to swim, nowhere to shoot some ink down. So a great, dominant defense there from Coalition. That is a mighty valuable skill. And Coalition went down to no Creeth, no Bow, who now is sitting next. Did we have colors wrong, Saf? Oh, no, okay, we're right. I have to fix the score now. Hold on, let me be a TO.
Yeah, let me pause my chatter to adjust something on the interwebs. The interwebs, the back end of Sendo.
Okay, the Coalition wins 2-1. Now a rematch of their winners bracket semis match. It's no